What's up, all you good citizens of Crypt Nation? I want to come at you guys with a quick market update, and I want to read a direct quote from the CEO of Visa. That's how I wanted to start this thing off because I just read it, and I'm laughing. I'm like, I got to just record this quick update. We'll talk about some things that went on in the market, but first, let me start by reading this quote. So he was doing an interview with the CEO of Fortune, Alan Murray. And so the CEO of Visa's name is Al Kelly. And he said that he thinks cryptocurrencies can go extremely mainstream within the next 5 years. And this is a quote from him. Ready? He goes, "The thing about our business that I actually like is that we don't pick winners and losers. You know, as you and I sit here and talk today, I don't know to what degree cryptocurrencies are going to take off. Are we going to say in 5 years that it was a fad and it wasn't a big deal? Or is it going to be extremely mainstream? I'm not smart enough to know, but what I'm smart enough to do is make sure that our company, Visa, is in the middle of it today." Like, it's pretty cool. And then he goes, and he goes, "If it takes off and we can get our fair share or more of the volume because we anticipate that possibly it could take off and become a big deal, we certainly want to be prepared for that. And I think we're off to a very good start." Okay, so why am I starting this whole market update with a quote from the CEO of Visa that actually just happened today? I think it's very significant because what we're starting to see is people at the highest levels of finance almost start to backpedal a little bit, or a theme that we've been talking about in the past couple of months is like, investment managers and, CFOs and people are going to start to be questioned if they don't have a Bitcoin strategy, or if they don't have, a strategy for being, cryptocurrency focused or even cryptocurrency related. And so, the CEO of Visa in the past, Visa has been pretty supportive, but there's a lot of people like the CEO of JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, who's called, Bitcoin a scam, a fad, all this crazy stuff. And then just last week, JP Morgan announces that they're going to be facilitating transactions for their clients with Bitcoin. So I think that, when I see a quote like this, again, CEO of Visa talking about how it could be or it could not be a huge piece of society. And he goes, I'm not in the business of calling winners or losers, but it looks like cryptocurrency is winning. So that's why I'm building out so many aspects of it, of his business to kind of facilitate that and accommodate it. So I thought, that's a kind of a long-winded way of saying that, every time that you see a huge sort of announcement or a thing like that, the market takes a little bit of time to digest that news. But slowly but surely, it results in higher prices over time as people express their opinion. They're like, oh, well, I trust the CEO of Visa. He trusts crypto now, so I'm going to trust crypto. So that's like an underlying bid in the market. And slowly but surely, the market is always digesting that information and kind of reflecting the general sentiment of how people view, forward valuations. And so at the end of the day, when you have an amalgamation or basically just a continued, conglomeration of all of these people at the highest levels of finance that are starting to go and show publicly that they are supporting crypto. Whereas in the past, it was always like, oh, it's a fad. Like we might get fired if we start to support crypto. And now it's like we might get fired if we don't support crypto. It's like a whole mental shift that's happening across the board. And anyhow, that's what made me think of that today. And so that's one thing. The second thing I wanted to talk about, and by the way, before I go any further, we're doing a really cool promo. I wrote an awesome product and an awesome course called, Mastering Volatility Causing Events to Rake in Profits Like an Insider. And so we're doing a promo, and that's yours. If you guys want to click the button below, the orange button, it's $3, just a little bit to cover costs. But that was a really fun one to write. So check that out. But click the orange button. So anyhow, the other thing I wanted to talk about was for all you Cardano lovers, ADA, right? ADA. Everybody loves Cardano. It just got listed on Coinbase Pro. Finally, it got listed. And this is one that hasn't really been listed on any American exchanges. I think it might have been listed on Kraken, but that's about it. So everybody who's a big Cardano fan and is on Coinbase Pro now has a venue to trade it. So that was huge news because the market has been waiting for that announcement for a long time, and price reacted very favorably. So that we've got a big model portfolio, and we've got lots of fundamentally strong coins here, and we always love to keep track of the best of the best. And really strong announcement today. The markets have been trending pretty high, actually. We had last night a little bit of a deleveraging across the market. We saw a few $1 billion of long positions wiped out. I think we're going to see rising levels of volatility going into March 26th, actually, because there's a huge options expiration on March 26th with the most outstanding interest, open interest, on an expiration that we've ever had. So it's going to be a lights out next couple of weeks. It's going to be super volatile. So you guys got to make sure you're on the right side of the trade. And that's kind of why we're doing this whole promo, is because volatility is about to skyrocket again. It's been very quiet for the last month and a half, but lots of good plays. So anyhow, check us out. We'll talk to you guys soon.